everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a special one. I'm going to be discussing how I got to the UK after I tried so many times, the challenges I faced, how everything got together, and yeah, why I decided to choose Derby over London. If you're someone that is interested in coming traveling abroad, not necessarily the UK, and yeah, if you're finding it hard or the journey doesn't seem so easy for you, then stick around because there are so many gems in this video. The genesis of the story. So I'm someone that I knew right from secondary school. I knew that my destiny was not in Nigeria. My destiny was outside. It seems dramatic, but that's just the conviction I got. I didn't even really know God. I didn't know God then, but that was just what I knew for myself. Okay, so most of you, if you're new here, well, I was in Cyprus. I did my first master's in Cyprus. So I was supposed to travel from Cyprus to Canada. Even before Cyprus left, it was supposed to be Canada. Do you get? But something happened. So okay, now let's go to Cyprus. From there, we can jump back to a better place. So I got to Cyprus. I was done with my masters, and then I was like, okay, now it's time. Even before I finished, I was already looking to places that into to Canada mostly. Then I was like, should I still go to Canada? I changed my mind. I was like, oh, let me try US. That one we're working. I was even working towards that one, but then like it was just like looking like a lot. As time went on, I was like, okay, then it's looking like UK is where I should go. I then decided, okay, let me start making applications to the UK. I got I got admission into three schools. I got admission into Glasgow Caledonian University in Scotland. I got admission into University of Swansea and Anglia Ruskin University in the one in Chelmsford. So I was happy because at this that one alone was a testimony on its own, me getting that admission. I was happy and excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank God. By September, that was last year. By September last year, I'm going to at least leave this place and my family, everybody was excited. But then I don't looking back, I just feel like it was God. Because then at that point, it's nothing was just working anymore. The process just became difficult. Like it's I don't want to be so vulnerable here, but it was just hard. You from finances to like actually making it work from that place, everything was hard. It was not like we're doing rush. Do you get like school, UK schools, you have deadline for everything. And school was starting in September. So at this point, it was just like we're just rushing. I don't know how to explain it. It was just a rushed process. And then Gina, when I got it was time for me to get my cards. I made a silly mistake. If you're traveling to the UK, you know for sure that you're not supposed to use a company account to show your proof of funds. It's a personal account. So now I use my dad's company account. It's looking back, it's something that I should have known. Do you get? It's something that should have been obvious that this is not what you do when you're coming to the UK. I don't know about other countries, but that was the mistake I made. By the time I submitted my CAS, it was by the time I submitted my proof of funds. Sorry, that's when I now heard that, oh, you cannot use a company account. I'm like, this is not sounding right. I was like, okay. Someone was giving me ginger. No, no, don't worry. At least they're going to see that this money is inside, so it's a company account. Like it should not really matter. School now emailed me one day that, oh yeah, sorry that if we give you the cash now, you're not going to get your visa. So this this was like December or so, and my mind I was already like, oh, by January I'll be in UK. Like the mental stress, you guys, coupled with other personal things, I was depressed. I'm not even going to lie, I lost a lot of weight. I was depressed. Not like, well, if we give you this card now, you're not going to get your visa. So it's either you do this or that. But I could not now because to show you have to show that money is in your account for like 30, 31 days. There was no time for that because like I said earlier, we're already rushing. So it was already time had already gone. So if we're like, oh, let's start preparing another statement of account, it's not going to be possible for me. When I made the hard decision, my father was just like, you just have to decide what you want to do. Do you want to stay or you want to come back? I say me come back to Nigeria. I say come back to Nigeria. That's not my plan. That's never been my plan. I don't want. I was. Hey God, you guys. You don't even me explaining it now. It's not even like depicting the emotion I truly felt. I was I was disturbed. But then I was like, okay, no wala. I'm not going to. Like I just decided, okay, no wala now. As time went on, I said I'm not going to stay in this place. If I say I rather come back to Nigeria, like as time went on, obviously there are things that happened in between. I'm like, if I stay in this country, like I'm not going to recognize myself. I had to tell my dad, I'm not going to recognize myself. It was not like that. It's still September next year now. That's this year. I just wait a little while. You're still going to be able to travel, this one, that one. I said, Pa, if I stay, I cannot. And then my dad knew, like, for me to say, well, let me come back to Nigeria. It was not because my family members, everybody around me knows how much I'm not a Nigeria person. I'm not. By the grace of God, I'm not. So, like, my dad was not like, for me to now say that, oh, I want to come back, then it's something he has to listen to. Mind you, we spent money for me to get a residence permit in Cyprus after I finished my master's. So it was not like we did not even me deciding to come back to Nigeria. It was just like that money was a waste. So I knew and I felt bad for that, but let me not go too deep. But I could not stay in that place. I could not. So that's why I go back to Nigeria and I'm like, okay, oh, it is time to start this journey again. It is time for the part two of this journey. But like this time around, me and God had a covenant. Before then, I prayed. Yeah, I prayed. I told God, I said, God, okay, oh, now I've realized. I don't know if maybe it's my past sins or you're trying to punish me. I don't know. But maybe like you are telling me that that was not the time for me to travel. Maybe I was not actually ready. I don't know what you were telling me, but this time around, we have a covenant. For me to know that your hand is in this thing, there has to be ease in every part of it. That's what I told God. I said is I don't even like is that I'm not struggling for anything. I'm not doing like what I went through before. For me to know that your hand is in this thing this time around, none of it is going to be existing. So that's how I started. I started applying. I was like, okay, now I'm going to make a conscious effort to apply to only schools in England. I'm not applying to anywhere outside England. So I applied to Birmingham, University of Birmingham. I applied to University of Northumbria in Newcastle. I applied to Glasgow Caledonian in London. I applied to University of Derby. Which other place did I apply to? And then I applied to University of Hertfordshire. Shire or Shire. Shire. I don't know how to pronounce it here. So, anyways, I was like, okay, oh, it is time. And then I think I did that January. So I was not like, God, oh, is this supposed to be this long? Is it supposed to be this hard? Remember, like I kept reminding God every step of the way that this was a covenant. This is a covenant that you and I have. So I'm not even going to worry. The first admission I got, I think early February, was for Derby. Then I was not like, that should I wait? Should I accept? Should I wait? Should I accept? And I told my dad that see, we're trying to avoid the mistake that happened before. So everything we are doing now, everything has to be like as it's coming, it's happening. As it's coming, it's happening. So I'm like, okay, let me just accept Derby. Then I'll wait for others because if you don't accept it within a number of days, then it's expires. So to say, expires in the sense that if you don't let them know that you've accepted an offer in schools in UK particularly, then it's non-existent. Do you get? So I had to share accept it, just accept. So in case others don't come. So I accepted it just like that too. And then I was now waiting. My mind was in London, oh mind you. My mind was I'm going to GCU London. I'm going to GCU London because the admission I got for GCU Glasgow, I'm like London this time around, though, as if I'm going to UK now. Let me just go and enjoy it. Let me just go and stay in London. And then as the admissions kept coming, my mind, my spirit was just stuck with Derby. I don't know. There was no particular reason. I swear, like my spirit just kept leaning towards Derby. And then when the London one came, I was like that, hey, like this is what I always wanted. But I'm not feeling the push to go there. Do you get? And so I was just like, let me just okay. I was like, I still accepted it, but like, let me not do anything yet. And then the other offers kept coming. Like, cities, Birmingham is a popping city in the UK. I was like, hey, God, this would be a perfect place. Let me now tell you guys why this was God. Why my stay here was God, and why I now decided that this is just your stamp of approval, God. My aim in life sounds so um sounds so deep. But one of my goals in life that I keep shouting because a closed mouth is a closed destiny or whatever. So anybody watching can have connection to the UN, UNICEF, you get. One of my goals in life is to be on the board of directors in the UN, proclaiming the gospel of Christ, obviously, and helping people. Do you get? So I was like, okay, to get there, public health is like a step. But then I do not care what people were saying that, oh, public health, you might not really get a job in UK, you might not really, I think my story is different, and my story will always be different by the grace of God. But then Derby was the only school that I put in biomedical health. Biomedical health is a mixture of is a mixture of biomedical science and public health. I never knew of it before. As I was applying to Derby, I was looking for public health even. But then as I was reading through the courses, I was like, let me just put in this one. And it was the only place, other places I put in public health. Do you get Hertfordshire gave me public health with placement. And you're in UK when you have like master's like 2 years and it's even with placement. That's the best thing for you. Other schools gave me public health, yes, but Hertfordshire was sweeter. But then biomedical health was the only one I got from Derby. Derby was the only place I got biomedical health. I was like, hey, my spirit was just in tune with it. I was like, this is where I'm going. I made up my mind. I said, this is where I'm going. So that's why I decided to forfeit the other places. I was like, okay, you know what? And now, if I get there, I can always like find my way to other places as time goes on. But this is where I want. It's like this is where I want to stay. That's how I chose Derby. When I finally decided, so it was time to pay the deposits. I paid the deposits, and yeah. Then we now started hearing stories again, you guys. Then I said that, oh, that you in Derby, University of Derby now they do CAS interviews. The CAS allows you, that's confirmation of acceptance of studies. It allows you, it is what is what shows that school is sponsoring you, so it allows you progress to getting a visa. Then I like to get a cast now, you have to do an interview. And me, when it comes to things like that, I always fidget. I always know the right thing to say or to do, but I always fidget. I think I spoke about this in one of my videos that, oh, I did an interview that was shaking. I spoke about it. That was what was going on then. But then I knew I did my research well. I mean be research queen. One of my skills is researching, no cap. So I did my interview, though I was shaking, but I knew what I was saying. Grace Pickett. I knew what I was saying by the grace of God. So it was not like, but still, it's that kind of thing where you're like you don't know for sure. It's not your father or your mother's company or country or anything. So you don't know for sure what's going to happen. So I was still scared. When I did my interview, I was among the first people, like our set that did the interview the day we did the interview. I was among the first people that got congratulations, you blah 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 blah, you've passed your interview, you can now apply for a class or whatever, whatever. It did not take long. That is the ease I'm talking about, that God and I are. I'm an Igbo babe. That is the ease that God and I agreed on. So yeah, and then I got that. So people were just like, when did you do your interview? When did you do your interview? That kind of thing. After that, it was now time to apply for a class. My brethren, hey, it did not take long. It was just like they were like, oh, the days to get your class maybe like 1 to 6 days or few weeks. 6 days on the dot. I remember I was on my way to midweek service. I was on my way to midweek service. As I was coming down on the staircase in my house, I just got the email on my phone. He said you have gotten your cast. This is your cast letter, something like that. I called my dad ASAP. I say, Pa, the thing we are waiting for, it has come. I said, the thing we are waiting for, it has come. My father was so happy. Because my whole family went through what I went through that last year. Everybody was just slapping. I was like, so what's not the necessity to apply for a visa? We to apply for visa. I carried myself to midweek service. I thank God. I praised God. I said, Lord, 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 take all the glory. Take all the glory. So yeah, from there, it's obviously not like ASAP. It's ASAP. There's no time to waste. This was happening in May. God, I went through my journal and I remember when I wrote that this is what I want for my visa processing by May, June. I should have gotten my visa, this one, that one. This was happening by May. I was like, okay, now it's time for to start applying for visa. When I was applying for visa, I wanted priority. I want to know decision now. Now I don't want standard. Standard you will know in a few weeks. I said that no, that I wanted priority. So like we'll just get it over with. Do you get? So I paid for priority and then I also paid for premium lounge. Premium lounge, like I said in my previous video, if you've not watched my relocation video, go and watch and subscribe. When you're done, let me know. Okay, and we can continue. So yes, so I paid for premium lounge. Premium lounge, so I don't have to stay on the line too long because this thing I just want it fast and fast. Like we agreed, we have ease with God. And so I paid for premium lounge and I got the best treatment by the grace of God. And then my visa, I was not even expecting the day it came. I was tracking it, yes, I was tracking it. But I wasn't expecting that day it came. Like the day that I went to collect that my visa, that day that was raining. I was not, I had the option of going the next day. I said because they were almost closing that day. I said I'm going to get it today. Today we'll know. I was like, oh, let me wait till I get it, then I'll call my dad. By the time I went there, oh, I was on my way. Yes, I was in Uber on my way to TLS Center in VI. My dad now called me that, how am I this one, that one? I said, Pab, my dad and I spiritual always together. So and I said, Pab, that I'm on my way to go and get my passport too. That I didn't want to tell anybody. I wanted to wait. Let me get it first before I say anything. My father started praying that, don't worry, God has done it. I said, I was scared. I said, yes, amen. God has done it in Jesus' name. God has done it. Then I forgot to say something. Like the confirmation I got before I even got, I think, an offer or a visa. Before, definitely before I got a visa, that this is God plan for me was I had a dream where like Isha pata pata summary of the dream was like someone was not like that. That where are you going to? I thought you were in UK. Dr- Dream is one of the major ways God communicates to me that I already know at this point. Like I thought you were in UK. I said, you don't need to tell me for that. I'm there. You don't need to tell me for that. I said, God, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being mindful of me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for making a way. Thank you for giving me confirmations that I don't know that I need, but I need. Do you get? So yes, I got my passport. It did not take time. Oh. I was the second person to get my passport in our Telegram group. I got my passport and yeah, that was it. And then that was in June 6th, 5th or 6th. Got my passport. So it was time to book flight. It was time to book an accommodation. Like we're already in UK, baby. We're already in UK, British babe. We're already in UK, so yeah, so that's how I got it. I might be missing some steps, but like that's just the summary. If you guys have any question, you can ask me in the comment section below. I don't know if I should talk about my apartment now or how I got my apartment, or maybe do a room tour. What should I do? What should I do? So I don't know what my decision is. I don't know if I'm going to make not an apartment, like a room tour. I don't know yet. If something you guys want to see, maybe let me know. But I don't know yet. If I'm going to do that, then I'll let you guys know like how I got my apartment before coming. I got my apartment, I think July. I think it was June I got this apartment. So yes, I'll let you guys know, and it's quite a bit affordable. Nothing is cheap in UK, but it's a bit affordable. So yeah, you guys, hope you subscribed. Hope you if you stuck to this point, of the video. I'm grateful. God bless you. Thank you very much. Like I said, I hope to take you guys along in this my UK journey. So it is a forever thing with you guys. So come along, enjoy yourselves. I hope like what I do or the things I get to, you guys will definitely be a part of it. And yeah, we'll enjoy ourselves hopefully. And and God will like keep leading us in the right path. Yeah. If you have questions, let me know in the comment section. I'll try and answer. I'll answer. What am I trying? What am I doing? I will answer it. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the love you showed my last video. God bless you all.